Welcome. Today, if you've got a block or a large book or maybe a pot or a pillow, I invite you to take that and place it at the back of your mat. So we'll be using that a little bit later, just a good place to have that ready to go. And coming into a seat of your choice. You can place a block or a pillow under your seat to help elevate the hips if that works for you. And then allow the eyes to close, reaching the top of the head towards the sky, rooting down into the earth, and then turning inward as you take your attention to the breath. And as you start to notice the breath, I'll read the words of Thich Nhat Hanh. You should know how to breathe to maintain mindfulness, as breathing is a natural and extremely effective tool which can prevent dispersion. Breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thoughts. Whenever your mind becomes scattered, use your breath as the means to take hold of your mind again. And so as we come into our movement today, a helpful reminder that the breath is what connects all of it together. So finding that breath here, deepening the inhale, feeling the belly rise, and exhale, belly falls, softens. And taking a moment to honor the roots of yoga, the many lineages that we benefit from today, considering how yoga is in service to us and how we may be in service to yoga. And preparing for the sound of Om. Inhale. Starting to turn on the Ujjayi breath, closing the lips. With each exhale, creating that slight constriction in the back of the throat, as if you were fogging up a mirror with your mouth closed. As we slow the exhale, our lungs have even more time to take in the oxygen that our body needs to move. And as we continue to heat the body with the Ujjayi breath, our movement can begin, placing the left hand on the mat, sweeping right up and over, nice deep side stretch. And inhale up, exhale deeply, opposite direction. Once more, inhale up and take it to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Using the exhale to deepen even more into this side stretch. Inhale up, exhale down, hands can come to the knees. We'll begin our cat-cow movement from a seat. So with that inhale, reaching the chest forward, head drops back. Exhale, curving through the spine, chin reaching towards chest. Inhale, lift. You may begin to reach your arms back behind you. Exhale, reaching those arms forward as we curve through the spine. Taking this with your own breath, inhaling deeply. Ujjayi breath, exhale out, curving, rounding through. 2 more times. You open the mouth, exhale, release. Coming back to the neutral spine. Interlace your fingers. Begin to take infinity circles, warming up the wrists. And if you can, take those wrists in the opposite direction. A little mind yoga here for you. And exhale, release. Taking a moment in this stillness. And we're going to move into tabletop. So rolling over those knees and finding your tabletop. And with the breath again, finding those cat-cow movements once more. Inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. Deep exhale, pressing through the spine, dropping tailbone to the earth. Head comes last. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pressing. And if there's organic movement here that you want to take, finding that now. That might mean starting to circle those hips around, stretching side to side, maybe taking a few childs to up dog, warming in all directions of the spine. Opening the mouth and releasing when you need. And then meeting back in that neutral tabletop. So even in our neutral position, there's a slight curve in the spine. Coming into that natural curvature. So finding a nice steady base. Inhale, lift your right leg, reach it back, toes facing down, heel pressing. Left arm reaches forward, spinal balance. Now if you've really lifted that shoulder and hip up, bring them back in line. Inhale, reaching a little further. On your exhale, bring knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curving the spine, touching knee to elbow and extend. 3 more times. Pull it in and extend. Crunch, extend. Coming into that cat pose each time and then reaching it long. Exhale, place it down. Rocking back and forth, taking a cat-cow to reset. And other side. Inhale, left leg reaches back, pressing through the heel, toes facing down. Reach that right arm this time out. With an inhale, extend a little further. Exhale, cat, bring knee to elbow, center of the body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bring it in. And extend. Exhale, curve it in. 2 more times using your breath. And when you're finished, place it back down, stretching, working out the spine. Grounding into that left hand. Reach right arm up and over. And then exhale, thread it through, hovering here over the mat. And then place the right hand down, bringing cheek or temple to the mat. Finding a thread the needle. Option if you'd like to reach that left arm around the back, coming into a half bind. And keep breathing. Keep focusing the mind. If that left arm is in a half bind, bring it back under the shoulder. With an inhale, press it up, reaching right arm up and over, and exhale, back to table. Other direction. Grounding into that right arm, reach left up, exhale, thread it through, pressing the shoulder into the mat. And then option to take right arm behind the back, settling in. And bringing right arm under the shoulder once again, pressing up, reaching high, exhale, place it down. And then flip those toes under, hips high, downward facing dog. So working out the feet and the legs, pedaling, taking what you need here to settle into your first down dog, maybe shaking those hips back and forth, bending deeply in the knees to really stretch into the calves and Achilles. Turning on that Ujjayi breath, feeling the heat exit the body with each exhale, building up the warmth we need to start to move. And then coming up on those toes, looking forward, take a few steps up. Knee in your half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold it forward, Uttanasana. And inhale through a flat back. Come all the way to stand, arms sweep up. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Surya Namaskara. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, step right foot back, left foot back. Always option to drop the knees. Finding Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. On your next inhale, coming high on the toes, looking forward, taking a few steps or a little hop up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, Tadasana. And again, inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Allowing your head to come last. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step left, then right, lowering to your degree, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And inhale, coming up on those toes, little hop or a few steps up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms go wide, reaching skyward. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Surya Namaskara B. Inhale, sweep those arms down and up. Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your version of your vinyasa, stepping it back, cycling through your chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing dog. From down dog, we'll inhale, stepping the right foot forward, spin left heel down. Warrior one, reaching overhead. Exhale, hands come to the mat, step it back, cycle through your vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Step left foot forward, right heel spins down. Upward, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the mat. Vinyasa to down dog. Tuning in to the sound of your breath. And inhale, coming up on those toes, looking forward, little hop, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then rising through Utkatasana, chair. Exhale, hands through heart center, mountain pose. With an inhale, arms come up once again. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, step that left foot back, drop the knee. Untuck your toes and sweep arms overhead, dropping the hip, feeling that nice opening through the front of the left. Big inhale. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Lift the back knee, rise to high crescent lunge. Pressing into those back left toes. And then tuck the toes, lift the knee, rise, high crescent lunge. Find your steady base, and then cactus those arms, a little back bend, reaching back. Inhale up, exhale, hover forward as you sweep your arms behind you. Inhale up, exhale, cactus, little back bend. Inhale, reach, exhale, forward, hover, sweep. And again, reaching up, cactus. Inhale and sweep them back, hover forward, holding here. Big inhale through the breath. Exhale. And inhale, reach it up, opening to warrior two. Find your warrior two stance, creating that nice strong base in the legs. And then reach your arms overhead, creating an invisible beach ball above you. We'll begin to tip backwards and forward, hovering over the front leg again. Continuing to flow as we maintain the bend in the front knee, the strength in our base, letting our upper body find movement. And coming back to warrior two. Finding a moment of stillness. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Catch the waist, spin all 10 toes to face the side of the mat. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold forward. Hands coming to the mat, head dropping. Nice, deep stretch through the legs. Allowing the neck to release. Softening wherever is not needing to be engaged right now. And noticing the change in your breath as we come into this inversion of sorts with the head. On your next inhale, coming to your half lift. Exhale, catch the waist. Inhale, lift it up. And then find warrior two to the back of your mat. Bending in the left leg. Arms go wide. Gazing over the left fingertips, sending equal energy out both directions. An opportunity here to play with half moon. So I recommend bringing that left hand to the top of the left thigh. You can bring right hand to the waist. Begin to step that back leg forward. And as you do, we'll start to lift the leg, tipping into half moon. Now here's where the block comes into play. So if you've got that block or book, you can place it on your mat, varying degrees of level. And as you lift, this is a really helpful base to work into half moon. So prepping here, working towards this tricky balance. Whoop! If you fall out, so do I. Maybe you start to lift off the block. Perhaps you're reaching that right arm up overhead, gazing up at it, or not. And then drop the hands to the mat. You can set the block away. Coming into a half split. Hands are on the mat. Right leg is lifted, but it doesn't need to be reaching totally skyward. So keep your hips square to the mat. Lift the right leg. Gaze at the mat. And then step your right foot back. Left foot back comes to meet it, high plank. Lower through your chaturanga. Taking a vinyasa through upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, your right leg lifts. And on an exhale, we're gonna squeeze the knee in, reaching it towards the nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, nose. Inhale, lift. Once more, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Place that foot down. Release. Open the mouth, let something go. Looking forward, taking it the other direction, bring that left leg forward, drop the right knee. Untuck the toes, sweep arms overhead, pressing those hips towards the mat. opening through the front of the right leg. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Flip those toes, lift the knee. High crescent lunge. As you find your balance, bend those elbows, cactus, little back bend. Reaching skyward, exhale, arms sweep back as we hover the left leg. Inhale up, exhale, cactus. And reach, moving with your breath through this series. Inhale, cactus. Reach, and this time we'll hold it here for a moment. Breathing. And on your inhale, lift it up. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Find that steady base in the legs. Then reach those arms upward as if you were holding that beach ball and begin to flow with the upper body. You should hear your breath. Keeping that Ujjayi breath going. And then finding warrior two. For a moment, hit the pose. Inhale, turn all 10 toes to face the side of the mat. Catch your waist. Exhale. Prasarita Padottanasana. Stillness might be what's calling you here, where you may prefer a little bit of movement from side to side, bending in one knee and then the other. And coming back to center if you're moving. Inhale, half lift, catch the waist, and come to rise. Warrior one or two, front of the mat. Bending in the right knee, reaching arms out. And then setting up for half moon. So you know where you are going and what you need to get there. Placing the hand in the top of the thigh, catching the waist, and walking those feet in just a little as you begin to lift. So this side may be better or worse in terms of balance. So playing with what you've got, just working with where you are right now. Using the breath, finding a point on the wall or the floor in front of you to help maintain that balance. And then drop the gaze to the right toes. See if you can hold it as you shift your hips, squaring off to the mat, coming into that standing split. And step left foot back. Right foot comes to meet it, high plank. Cycling through a vinyasa or meeting straight in downward facing dog. And as you arrive in downward facing, lift your left leg. And then on your exhale, bring knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. And extend once more. Knee to nose, curving through the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, place the foot down. And we'll drop the knees, hips back, child's pose. Nice big inhale through the nose. And then exhale, open the mouth, release. A few more times. And when you're ready, pressing into your hands, coming back through downward facing dog, and then looking forward and stepping up to your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms go wide, reaching up. Exhale, mountain pose. And take your feet a little bit wider. Sweep your arms up overhead, sitting your hips back, Utkatasana. And we'll begin to rock forward and back onto the heels and up onto the toes. So moving at the pace that works for you. If you prefer to bring your hands to heart center, you may do so. And then beginning to think about warrior three. So the next time we tip back, we'll shift the weight right, lift left leg, finding warrior three. So keep that hip dropped. Different than in half moon, we're square to the mat. Hands can be at heart center or reaching forward for an added challenge. Grounding through that right leg. On your inhale, bend the left knee. Coming to rise, reach the knee forward. Exhale, press it back, warrior three. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, bending the knee, pulling it forward, and exhale back. So moving at whatever speed you need to maintain your balance. And coming back into warrior three. When you're ready, gently place that left foot down, reaching your arms up for high crescent lunge. We'll interlace the fingers, except for the finger, and then interlace all of your fingers except your pointer and your thumb. Coming into Kali Mudra, reaching those arms overhead. As we did before, we're just going to reach forward, hovering over the front leg. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, lift it up. Nice work. Drop those hands, coming into heart center. And then step the left foot in slightly. So all 10 toes facing forward, preparing for pyramid. Folding over the front leg, reaching towards the mat or blocks. Deep, opening through that right hamstring. And inhale, lift it up. Opening those feet to a 45-degree angle, sit down into your goddess pose. We'll take Karana Mudra, so middle 2 fingers connect with the thumb, pinky and pointer, reaching, coming into our goddess. And with an inhale, reach it up, extending those arms. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, extend. Exhale, sit it down. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Perhaps you close your eyes. Just feeling the pose in your body, removing that visual sensation. And then straighten the legs. Shift those left toes back. Find warrior 2 towards the back of your mat again. Arms reaching. Flip the front palm. Reverse warrior. Reaching that right arm either down the leg or taking the half bind behind the back. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, extended side angle, sweeping that right arm over the head. Coming onto the thigh. Maybe you start to reach towards the ground if you can keep your chest open. And then drop that other hand, coming to a low lunge. Step left foot back, cycling through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. Coming up on those toes, looking forward, little hop or step up, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweeping wide. Exhale, mountain pose. And we'll take it to the other side. Inhale, sweep those arms down and up, sitting into Utkatasana. Starting to rock, toes to heels. And bringing your hands to heart center as we prepare for warrior three. Shifting weight into the left leg, or starting to think about that. When you're ready, we'll shift left and send right leg back. Warrior three, squaring those hips to the mat. And as you inhale, bend your right knee, rising, pulling the knee forward. Exhale, send it back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Once more. And holding, finding the control in warrior three. And then gently stepping it into high crescent lunge. Arms reach overhead. Fingers interlace, maybe the opposite direction this time. Taking Kali Mudra, we'll reach our arms forward, hovering that left leg. For 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring those hands to heart center. Straighten the front leg, step right leg in slightly, setting up for pyramid, and fold forward. Reaching toward the mat, releasing that left glute. And inhale, rise. Open up to goddess. So taking those feet at about a 45-degree angle. Karana Mudra in the hands, reaching overhead. Added challenge to lift the heels this time, balancing on the balls of the feet. Inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, goddess. Inhale, lift. Exhale, goddess. Once more, reaching high. Exhale, goddess. And then shift. Warrior two, front of the mat. Right knee is bent. Flip your front palm. Reverse warrior. Reaching back, stretching through the right side body. Inhale up, exhale, extended side angle. Taking your version. What do you need from this practice?
then shift that gaze downward, finding low lunge. Step right foot back, cycling through a vinyasa, through chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Coming up on the toes and looking forward, we're actually going to step up into a Malasana squat. So stepping the right foot to the outside of the right fingertips, left foot outside of the left, and then lower those hips down, settling into Malasana. All right, this is where you want to be today. Option just to stay here, working into those hips. If you're feeling you want to build some more strength and work towards an arm balance, we'll play with crow a little. So you can come more into the middle of your mat if you're in a tight room like me. We'll place the hands on the mat in front of us, and then keeping those knees attached to the outsides of the triceps, the back of the arms. Begin to lift those toes, hips, and feet. And then place your hands on the mat in front of you. As you lift your hips, coming onto the toes, this might be where you are today, working towards that crow shape. You may start to lift one foot and then the other, or you may begin to come into the full arm balance, lifting both feet, playing here with crow pose. It can absolutely help in those planted hands to pull those knuckles up, coming into almost a spider hand, creating some extra grip and strength in your base. You can try that, pulling those knuckles up as you lift the legs. And if you're feeling nervous about falling forward, that's totally normal. You can place a blanket or a pillow in front of you, and this is a great way just to create some added literal cushion, but also some just cushion for that fear of falling. So when you're done playing with crow, you can be there as long as you want. You can even pause the video, take some time to play. Coming back to Malasana and working out those wrists. And then we're going to sit it all the way back and work into our core. So playing with Navasana here, or boat pose. We'll tip back, lifting those legs if we can, or you can keep the toes on the mat. You can reach for the outside of your mat. Lift the shins, arms reaching, and breathe. If this is too much for your low back, definitely drop those toes. So listen to your body. What is it telling you? We'll be here for 5 more breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way to your back, hovering for a moment, and then exhale, release it down. Letting go. Open the mouth. And then bend the knees. You may even take them side to side, just gently rocking on the low back. And setting up for bridge pose, pressing the hands into the mat. We're going to take an active bridge pose today, so massaging and working those vertebrae. Tip the pelvis in, lifting at the tailbone first, and as you begin to lift all the way up, rolling up your spine, reaching the hips high.
As you come to the peak of the lift and your inhale, we'll begin the exhale and slow lower, vertebrae by vertebrae, lowering all the way down, releasing last. Inhale, tip that pelvis in, initiate the movement up the spine, reaching. Exhale, lower. Once more, tipping, lifting. Perhaps you hold for a moment at the top and then slowly lowering with control. Pelvis unfurling at the end. And you can hug your knees into your chest again. Making little circles with the knee. And taking those circles in the opposite direction. And we'll end with a final inversion. So I'm going to demo shoulder stand here, but if there's something else that you prefer to take, you may do so. So finding a nice steady base in your shoulders and then bringing those legs in and lifting the hips and legs up. So we're looking for a nice stacking of feet over ankles, over knees, hips to shoulders. Pressing those hands into the back and breathe. I know it can be challenging from this pose. And if you'd like, you can begin to drop those feet to the mat behind you. If those toes touch, the tops of the toes, you can release those hands to the mat or interlace your fingers. Otherwise, keeping the hands on the back for support. And ever so gently lifting those knees up and rolling to your back. If you'd like to reach those feet to the ceiling, just coming into a happy baby to work out those hips. Bring the soles of your feet together or press them towards the sky. And then when you're ready, finding your preferred resting pose for Shavasana. Settling down, allowing the breath to return to its natural state. Letting the thoughts come and go. And giving yourself these few minutes of stillness. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Noticing the rise and fall of the belly. Taking note of the temperature of the breath as it enters and exits the body. And then gently finding small movements as you begin to awaken the physical body. Maybe pointing and flexing the feet, taking circles with the wrists and ankles. And then when you're ready, either hugging the knees into the chest, rolling to one side or the other, or making your way up to a seat, whatever way feels good to you. Bringing one hand to the chest, the other hand on top. Preparing for a final sound of Om. Honoring yourself as the highest teacher, the practice that you put in, and the continued commitment to yoga. Placing a hand on the earth in front of you, honoring the land, having gratitude for the bounty that it provides us, and recognizing the original stewards of this place that we now call home. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace.